What's up, everybody? It's Jason24CF for EventHubs.com here at NEC14 with Mr. Rich, Filthy Rich. Sir, how are you?
Good, good. It's snowing.
Yes, it's snowing. I'm worried how I'm going to get home tonight because I got to go to work tomorrow. The wife is upset. Besides that, anyway, Killer Instinct. Crowd loved it. Was that the reaction you were going for in the development of the game?
Hell yeah, man. To be honest, just seeing people play the game was enough for me, but people getting hyped, the crowd getting into it, counter breakers for all those like events and instances is just like a dream come true, dude.
And now with, what was the idea behind the game? Because, you know, fans have asked for the game for many, many years. How did your team go about saying what was the best chemistry to get for the game?
It's a combination of like everything, but like the base of it was, you know, people like Mike Willett, our lead producer, and David Verify. What they wanted to do was like build a game that's going to be enjoyable for anybody, but then have that layer of depth for the competitive scene, so that, you know what, there's this continuous evolution of the meta game and people like always playing and finding something out new for their character, for the system, and that's what we want. And you know, from what I've seen here, like there's still so much untapped like tech, and I hope to see more in the next few events.
And now with it being the first game to say is free to play on consoles, and then also being it on next gen, did that worry you how the growth is going to be with the game? It's
always scary, especially with like a new console release, but we had this amazing opportunity to be a release title, and the release title along with the game being available to download as soon as you go home is kind of like a dream come true, you know what I mean? You get to invite people to play your game. They get more than a taste. They get to play the character than all the modes, and the price points are pretty inviting, to the point where like it's not too much, but it's enough for you to kind of get what you want and only what you want. If you want the full package, get it. If you only want this and this character, you can get that too. So it was awesome, scary as hell, but results turned into something awesome for us.
Right, that was going to be my next question. Has it turned into what you were hoping for?
Dude, the way that it's been is that we go to these events and we have people who love this series or who just love games, and they haven't seen KI for so long, and it's right for them to be kind of wary or skeptic about it. But then as soon as they get their hands on, like, we see this whole new face that comes about, and I would say, yeah, like people are enjoying it. They're asking us for questions. How do we do this? And ever since the 22nd, when the game was available, we let people know, like, it's not done. Look at it like a platform where we're constantly going to try to give you more stuff to play with as gamers, and I'm pretty hyped about it. So,
and that's a good leadway, because when you go into the whole purchasing options, it mentions something about Season 2.
Actually, it doesn't.
Well, okay, so I guess I must have saw something different.
What you're probably seeing is the early access to content that's coming on later. So we have Spinal coming in January, and then in March there's going to be Full Gore. For the people who purchase the Ultra Pack, they're going to be able to access those characters a little bit earlier than anyone else. So we want to give those heavy investors into like fighting games a chance to kind of like play with those characters, give us feedback, help us shape it up so that they're just as balanced as everybody is right now, and just cool perks like that.
And now with the roster, is there a set number as to what the roster is going to look like?
Absolutely. So for Season 1, 8 is what our set is going to be, and hopefully with like more support and, you know, more push from our partners over at Microsoft, we'll be able to do more for the fans. But it's just one of those things. So like you need to have that handshake between like us and everybody else that's involved with it.
And, you know, one thing definitely the FGC supports it. CD Jr.'s been one who's been very vocal about it. He's been in grand finals against Justin. Having somebody like Justin just won, and he's a great, you know, member of the community who could push, you know, the game further. But the thing that worries me is with the balance, you know, patches. You know, will you know, buckle to the pressure of the community, say nerf this and nerf that?
For the most part, like, and we're avid readers of every post, whether it's on our boards, whether it's on GAF, or if it's on like everybody's favorite board, SRK, the whole nine, even like Test Your Might. Nobody's really asking for nerfs just yet, and for us that's great. To be honest, like, we don't want to be reactionary to the extent of like the game is going to be changing. If anything, our messaging and what we want people to know is that there's content that's going to go in there, but not content that's going to change how you play the game. Like, as a base, Killer Instinct is made to revolve around like the mindset of the players, and that's what kind of like takes people away from having to ask for a patch, because they're like, there's an answer to every reason why you won or you lost. And we hope that it continues to stay the same. If there's anything that's broken, that's a different story. But for now, as far as like patch changes and like frame data adjusting here and there, at the moment, I don't see a reason to do it. If people do say, we're going to be open ears, but we're going to be very careful, because we care a lot about like the meta evolving and the game marinating with the players. 2 months? No way. You can't argue with me. Argue with me, like, it's going to be very hard, because there's always going to be reasons to justify why one thing is over another, and that's what we're here for. Like, we want to fill you in with all that information, so just ask us if you think that something's crazy.
Because definitely this is something that I believe could definitely help the FGC grow, and I don't want it to, you know, turn out like other games who have promise, but then the community seem to bring it down with constant bickering and such. Hopefully we won't get that. Hopefully more, you know, members will, you know, step up and get the next gen, get the system, get the arcade sticks. Because it was funny seeing, you know, some top players like Champ, Flo, Justin playing on pad, and they're holding on to it, and it felt real old school. But Rich, thank you. Any parting shots where someone could contact you or follow you at and such?
You guys can learn more about Killer Instinct and all our stuff over at doublehelixgames.com. Hit us up on Facebook. It's facebook.com/doublehelixgames. And you can hit me up on Twitter. Hit up Berserker Mike, our lead producer, as well as our design director, Zin Ramu. We all play the game. We love the community, and we love answering questions. So,
thank you for your time, Rich, and we out. How are we going to get out of this snow?